Good morning, everybody. Thank you for taking the time to attend this presentation. So today I'm going to present on the importance of enterprise architecture for business transformation. All right. Okay, so today I got 4 topics. First, I will introduce what is enterprise architecture. So there's a lot of different interpretations. So I would like to set a baseline and correct the interpretation today. I will also talk briefly about what is the challenges that we face today. What is the digital EA approach and some of the experience that I have. And finally, the value and the lesson learned from my own experience doing EA transformation. I hope that you all can value from this and see how best to be able to do your own EA transformation within your own organization. What is enterprise architecture? So this is quite a mouthful. Okay, this is from the Gartner IT Glossary. Okay, let me go through one round. Enterprise architecture is a discipline for proactively and holistically leading enterprise response to disruptive forces towards desired business vision and outcomes. Okay, so it's quite lengthy. So let me cut it short for you. The gist of this statement is enterprise architecture leads enterprise response towards desired business vision and outcome. So you see, based on the glossary, enterprise architecture did not associate itself with technical or IT. It associates itself with business vision and outcome. Okay, next slide, I'm going to talk about what is the different type of architects we have in the market right now, so that people can appreciate the difference. Okay, firstly, there's the technical architects. So these are your typical Java architect, infrastructure architect like myself, who is doing the hands-on designing of the solutioning. We're also defining best practices and standards across the implementation. So these are your very traditional technical architect who specialize in their own domain. Second, I think a lot of people are very familiar, solution architect. Solution architect is a generalist. They combine different design and architects from different domains, join together, piece together a solution, and present upwards as a holistically. So this is the most familiar term of architects people are familiar with. So next, what is enterprise architect? There's a lot of misconception what is EA. So a lot of my IT and non-IT colleagues have this perception that EA is solution architect but at the enterprise level. Now, what is the correct definition? Enterprise architect map the technical processes of the entire enterprise. Primary focus is to review structure which people and technology work together for optimal organization performance. So you notice that the definition here also didn't talk about IT, nothing technical about it. It's more about how people and technology can work together for optimal organization performance. So it's more about transformation, your organization, people, process, technology, holistically. Okay. What is the challenge facing organization today? Silo technical department running their own solution and architecture. So when I first started work many years ago, this is very apparent, and everybody just design their own solution without care of how it integrates holistically to an organization solution. So I will take the question and answer later. We will proceed with the slide first. I think this is still apparent now. Even currently, certain organizations are still running their own solutioning. They are still quite silo on this. Lack of EA standardization. This is apparent in many organizations today, whereby business or application architecture which is presented to the management is done in PowerPoint, whereas the technical design of your servers or your back-end processes is done in maybe in a certain type of sensor in visual, and your security architecture is done in other type of sensor in visual. So there's no standards for all the enterprise architecture artifact. Unclear organization capabilities and depths. Okay, this is very important for architect. So when you join a company, many times you do not see the full picture of organization capabilities and depth. And we are always just joining in and going in to architect the next solution. But we do not know what the organization have and what does it lack. So we are unclear organization capabilities. We are really designing something that may not gel well with what the organization have. Lastly, the challenge is inconsistent approach to EA implementation. I'm talking about enterprise architect implementation and not any technical implementation. So many companies, EA is not funded and they are really perceived as an order taker. And the business strategy and IT is not aligned. So you have business strategy going in one direction and IT going in a different direction because they are not aligned. And this is due to the different integration requirement they have. What is the result of this? Spaghetti architecture. I think this is quite self-explanatory. So it means that you have very fragmented architecture artifact across organization. Non-reusable of organization artifact. Yes. So you have certain artifact in you have certain design in PowerPoint, certain design in visual, and maybe 5 PowerPoint in his laptop and 2 PowerPoint on my laptop. So you don't have a central repository and it's not reusable. So what is the impact of all this? The major impact for all this is you are unable to correlate technology and business goal and strategy holistically. And you result in misalignment. What do I mean for this? For example, you have a company and your company goals is to increase from 1,000 customer base to maybe 10,000 customer base. But your technology goal is to streamline operation, cut costs, and reduce capital expenditures by maybe $500,000. So now you see that there's two conflicts. From a business front, I'm increasing. From a technology front, I'm reducing. So there's no point in saving maybe $100,000 in your technology where you just lost $5 million worth of businesses revenue due to the misalignment. So with this type of misalignment, the real impact is you will fail to achieve organization goal. So that's where digital EA transformation come about. How do I harness these two things together so that I can achieve organization goal? I will talk about what is the digital EA approach. Then I will also share some of the experience I have. Okay, this is from Gartner EA and Technology Innovation Chart. So I'll just briefly talk about this. Remember, the primary scope of EA is people, process, and IT. All right, EA is not technical design, neither is it application design. It's people, process, and IT. There's 3 types of architecture that's discussed. So we have first the inside out. Inside out primarily look at internal people, process, and IT and seek to improve operational value to the business. So I think this type of architecting, it happens all the place. Whenever you have certain reorg, you see how processes can be better done, but you may not have a terminology for it. So the right terminology is architecting inside out. Next, outside in. What is architecting outside in? Outside in focuses on the business outcome to deliver value. So I look at the business outcome that the organization wants, and based on the business outcome, I work within the organization to guide the changes to people, process, and IT to drive this outcome. So this is looking at what I want from the outside, transform internal organization, people, process, and technology to drive this outcome. Lastly, is architecting outside out. So this one is a bit different. This is, we are actually looking beyond organization, customer, and beyond the immediate scope of the organization. What is outside out? So I give a very good example. currently we are in phase 2 of the circuit breaker. The COVID has have a major disruption towards any organization, and it actually drives changes and innovation. For example, the culture of working from home and digital adoption within the last few months, the take-up rate skyrocket because of COVID. So that is the disruption that we are talking about, and we need to see how that impact translate to your organization and do the appropriate transformation to cater for it. So that is architecting outside out. How to enable digital EA? This is a process to do digital EA transformation. This process can be reiterated. So I just go through the 3 points. First, digital strategy. We are actually looking at the organization goals, capability, and driver in the context of technology adoption. So we are looking at what does the company want to do, what is its goal, what it can do, and what is the push or the pull factor for the organization. So this high-level information many times are not available, and we need to map this out to have a context for the whole organization. Second is the digital enterprise architecture. Okay, this is the groundwork of digital EA. This is where the most time is being spent. So digital EA actually consists of a digital enterprise map, which connect business, data, application, and technology architecture to support digital transformation. So what does it do? It actually map out the different architecture together holistically and show the connectivity between. It's like I be able to see what will happen if I decom certain system, what goal will impact my organization. Or I can see certain organization goal is there, but it has not been fulfilled by any of our IT system currently. So we'll be able to see the correlation once we map it out and see any gaps or any opportunity to exploit for digital EA transformation. So lastly is the digital EA transformation. From the mapping we have done in digital strategy and digital EA, we can see how best we can transform and improve the organization efficiency. So for example, for ourselves, we actually went through one round of transformation. We set up a central repository to keep all the artifacts. We define 25 technology architects across the technology group so that everybody is an architect and they can work on the designing of their own specialized domain. Part of the digital transformation that we did is also we have changed certain process, add more check and balance in the work stream in the PMO framework so that we can ensure that certain architecture requirement is being catered for. So this is what we have done, and this process can iterate across organization to drive digital transformation. So just now I talked about digital EA, then from there there's a digital enterprise map. So what is a digital enterprise map? So let me just share this screen. So a digital enterprise map will consist of 4 things. First, the framework. What framework are you using is for your digital EA. For us, we're using TOGAF. What tools are you using? There's Biz Design, there's Orbus, there's a lot of other tools you can choose. Skill set, definitely the skill set will be an IT architecture book of knowledge, which we need to be able to do EA transformation. Lastly, what's your notation? Notation is we are using Acumet. What is Acumet? Acumet is a common modeling language that can model your strategy, business, application, technology, and physical layer in a single tool, and we can map the correlation out together. So that's the key factor for digital EA transformation, is to be able to see all the impact across in a single tool. So for those who are EA trained, you will notice that I have a map of TOGAF right here, A to H. So this is the TOGAF way of implementation EA. So this is not to replace your current project management SDLC process, neither is it to replace your current agile framework process that you have. This is meant to complement your current process. It's meant to make sure that the architecture requirement, check, balance, and approval is catered for within the process so that you do not have any gaps when you implement. And when you're doing implementation, it also ensures that you do not just look at the solution silo. You can look at the whole solution holistically and how does it fit with the overall digital EA blueprint for the organization and what's the value. Yeah, that is the purpose of the digital map, and that is the most time-consuming portion of the digital EA transformation. Next, I'll touch on some of the value and lesson learned. Okay, what is the value of digital EA? Okay, first, after we embark on this digital EA transformation, there's a few things that we discovered. Firstly, we have greater synergy and collaboration towards architecting. So as I mentioned earlier, we appointed 25 technical architects across the technology department, and we work collaboratively, and we use a common modeling language, which is Archimed. So everybody speak the same language, talk the same song, and that enhance the architecting solution effort across the organization. Second, with the Archimed, we're also able to correlate and perform impact analysis across organization domain. So once you have mapped out all your business strategy, application, technology, architecture, we can actually link them up and you can see the impact clearly. What is the gap? What is the opportunity to exploit? What we are good at and what we need to improve. Thirdly, empowerment of technical team to practice digital EA and create EA as a culture mindset across organization. Okay, so I'm not so sure what is the architecture headcount in your organization, but my experience is it's never enough. For example, we have 100 over system altogether. So our organization got about four architects full-time on this, and that is barely enough to cover what is required. That's why we employ and empower technical team to do digital EA, and they also help to drive that mindset. So before they do any design and solutioning, they will ask themselves, how does it correlate with the organization holistically? And that's where they engage us, and we will help them on this journey so that everybody work along together and have this EA culture mindset. Lastly, it also allowed deeper understanding alignment of business strategy needs with IT architecture. So just now the example I give is that the IT and business is not aligned and they are going in different direction. So if we map it together in a single tool holistically and see the impact, we'll be able to go a certain direction together with business to make sure that we are aligned. And if there's a change of business strategy and direction, we can quickly innovate our IT strategy to change together. So that is a very strong value that we can have today. And that is also one of the gaps that the organization have between business and IT today. Lesson learned. Okay, just now we always talking about what's EA. So the key is people, process, and technology. They are the key factor for digital EA transformation. But of these three, people is the cornerstone. It is the cornerstone because they are the one who's adopting EA. Processes can be defined, technology can be bought. People must be enabled and empowered for digital EA transformation. So when you're doing digital EA transformation, remember the people are the one who is helping you. Engage the people, talk to them, work together and journey with them, and you can have a very successful transformation. Governance process. We actually have a hard lesson of governance process. So previously, we document our EA artifact in another tool. But however, after all the hard work has been done, there's no formal process for information flow to route back to the EA team to ensure that the digital enterprise map that we did is being updated. As time goes by, the trust in the digital enterprise map is not there, and people gradually stop using it. So all the effort that was put in previously is lost. So right now, the lesson we learn is before we embark on any architecture effort, we always ask ourselves, what is the governance process? Can we ensure that changes is being propagated back to us, and we are aware and make sure that we can make the appropriate update and information flow back to management to make informed decision. So that is a hard lesson learned from us, and it's a good lesson for everybody. Okay, lastly is EA collaboration. So for this EA collaboration, I actually engage ATD as an EA consultant to come in to help us. And the result has been greatly enhanced by their involvement, because what they bring aboard is their knowledge, experience, and expertise in dealing with many EA transformation for many organizations. So before we hit a brick wall, we already know the wall that is there and how we can overcome it, and what is the challenge that people typically face, and what is the solution that we can go or work around that challenges. So we are guided in a sense. But however, do take note that the digital EA transformation is under the ownership of the EA team within the organization. The EA consultant will help you with their knowledge, experience, but the organization need to own this, because nobody knows how the organization works better than the EA team. So I have very good value from a collaboration with an EA partner, and I hope that the partnership can continue and be mutually beneficial. Okay, that's the end of my slideshow. Thank you very much.